Pepper, you can't rub your face on the microphone. I don't have a whole lot of rules, but that's one of them.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That train is off the track.
I feel like you can't just like jump through Neptune and be okay.
Just prepare to...
What the show needs is more dogs and bears and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. This is episode 758. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials. This show, we're going to give the Undebeat Awards out for the 2024-2025 season. We'll get a start of the week for you, and we're going to preview the NBA playoff matchups. Joining me this show are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jamison Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What's up, Pacers fans? What is up? Undebeatable shout out to the playoffs. It's time. Let's do this.
From Asheville, North Carolina, he's a in-house bartender mixing up the drinks and the crappy jingles. John, cut his mic, Colson.
It's playoffs, bitches!
Got his mic.
Too late, Joey. Come on.
I know.
Go back to Enforcer School.
Shut up.
I never graduated.
You've got some credits still.
Yeah, I've got some credits, but yeah. I just got a job enforcing and just never decided to never finish up. From Tacoma, Washington, out west, it's our real enforcer, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? I was inspired by, Colson, your prediction last week that there would be a coach firing. Another coach firing. I'm going to predict that Doug Christie does not make it very much farther after the Kings get swept out of here. You could easily say, dude, there's got to be some coach movement this season, right? How does Billy Donovan have a job? The Mavericks have got to do something with Jason Kidd. There's got to be some coach movement. It's going to be crazy. But Doug Christie, I think this is the last year he gets to coach there.
Billy Donovan's a Hall of Famer. Bite your tongue, my friend.
I hear Nate Bjorkgren's looking for a job.
Yeah.
He's available. He's taking
available.
calls.
Well, before we get too far into the show, remind listeners that they can support us, the longest running Pacers podcast, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables. And you can support our show for as little as $1 per month. Thanks to everybody who has done that.
Drinks.
Yeah, we got some new ones out there. Appreciate that.
Shout out.
All right, guys. This is the show. We do once a year at the end of the season. We give our Undebeat Awards out to the players, or the players, the coaches, and whatnot that we think are the most deserving in their categories. It's not what the NBA thinks, not what we think the NBA is going to do, but it's who we as the Undebeatables say, this person is the rightful champion of this category this season.
And we usually try to come to a consensus unless you hold out for Greg Popovich for some reason.
Or Lance Stevenson.
Or Lance Stevenson.
Yeah. Very often. One of those two guys. Just throw the
it's
Amish into
non-negotiable.
a fit. Yeah.
So let's talk about the MVP, most valuable player this year. There's been some phenomenal performances out there this year, but I'll get this out of the way. I think in my opinion, SGA has had a tremendous season, and his Oklahoma City Thunder are amazing. But in my opinion, Nikola Jokic needs to be rewarded for his even more historic season. Again. So I would say Nikola Jokic for me. But I am accepting other discussions.
Coach killer Nikola Jokic.
He's like, I can't even wait 3 more games before we
Get this dude
Mike
out of
Malone.
my sight.
Well, JT, who do you think it should be? Somebody better at killing coaches?
I think it should be a dude that's killing other teams. And that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
No one has sniped more other teams than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Led the league in scoring, I believe. Is that right? 32.7 points a game. Led his team to the best record in the league at 68 wins. And not just that, it's just consistent as hell. Like, the variance in his scoring is, like, so small. He's, like, between 27 and 35. Maybe he'll get you 40 or 50 every now and then. So, I just thought he'd put together a masterful season. Nobody can stop him. That team is ridiculous. So he's my vote. I don't know. Jokic is great, but his team, and it's not his fault. He needs more guys around him for sure. But
Yeah, he could use a coach, for instance, at the moment, but no, I
Where are you
mean,
going to get a coach this time of year, though?
yeah, they should think about Mike Malone. I heard he's really good. I mean, look, this comes down to that age-old argument: best player, best team, or best numbers, right? And the best player on the best team, without a doubt, was SGA, and his numbers are incredibly good.
Yeah.
That said, the best numbers in the league go to Nikola Jokic, hands down. I mean, he was only a lowly third in scoring this season at 29.8. Couldn't even manage 30 points a game. I don't know what's wrong with the guy.
right.
But to make up for it, he had almost 13 rebounds and averaged a triple-double with 10.3 assists.
God.
While he wasn't busy, he shot over 41% from three-point land while taking almost 5 a game. His effective field goal percentage, despite all of the attention that he gets, is over 60%. And he had more steals per game than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, believe it or not. Now, he also had less blocks somehow, which is just weird to me that they split that way. But if not for Nikola Jokic, there is no way that team is in any kind of position to succeed. The guy's won a bunch of MVPs, and he's arguably having his best season. It's hard not to give it to him.
Yeah, I think the number that that's deciding this for me is 68. That's just an awful lot of wins, and it's not just about the best player on the best team. That puts you in rarefied air. 68 wins, and SGA has been unstoppable. And you know, often these things are about the narrative. Maybe I have some voter fatigue. Maybe I feel like Jokic has enough MVPs, but I'm going with SGA.
So we're split. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, now we just have to arm wrestle, or you just...
So
Can't remember.
was it like a battle royale?
Yeah.
It was Quaker style something?
No, we sit in the room quietly and think about what we did wrong.
I guess I don't know about Harper. I also could come off, Yoke. I mean, SGA is... Yeah, I mean, he's been just incredible. And like Jason said, too, he has been incredibly consistent. Like, weirdly consistent. Unnervingly consistent.
I mean, Jokic has been weirdly consistent as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
They're both...
we're in a good time.
Averaging
truly
a
so.
triple-double.
Truly so. I just... it's an incredibly fun time to be watching basketball. I was making an argument weeks ago for SGA to win this thing. I have no problem moving over to Team SGA. My only hesitation is that SGA is about to run off a bunch of these because he's got the kind of team that's going to win 60 a year for a bunch of years in a row if they can hold that team together. This is probably Jokic's. I mean, who knows what happens for Jokic from here? But it feels like that team might be falling apart. But I'm happy to move over to Team SGA. His year has been incredible. His team has been incredible, and he deserves credit not only for the stats but also the leadership. So I'm good with that.
Would this be his 4th MVP? Is that right?
Yeah, Jokic has 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, and by the way, statistically, I think Vegas has him at about a 60% chance. So,
well, I mean, if we're going, this is his last MVP. Hurrah! Get me on the sentimentality.
I just came to you. You're going to me.
I don't know if I.
Now we're 2-2 again.
I mean,
I'd buy that.
Jokic-
He's only 30. Like,
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like the team's falling apart. I don't feel like Jokic is falling apart.
yeah.
I feel like the
I think if
team is
anything,
falling apart.
Yeah, but I think they might actually get him some help over the next couple of years. So maybe you're right. Maybe his impact is maybe his numbers go down, and they're like a slacker.
Or I mean, no rebuild is easy, right?
Sure.
So by the time they get that team right again, that might be trading Jokic, or it might mean, 2 years before he's back to those numbers. Who knows? He's incredibly good, but in some weird way, basketball doesn't even seem like his passion. It's just this thing that he's wildly good at.
Mm-hmm.
And does.
Yeah. So, and maybe this isn't the right question to ask because I mean he's shooting 58% from the floor and 42% from the range, and he's averaging a triple double and almost 2 steals. So, this guy is incredible. But
Yeah, God,
I guess
that might not win an MVP.
well, that's what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
I'm wondering if. Okay, so he currently has 3 MVPs. That ties him with Moses Malone, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird. If he gets 4, he's with Wilt Chamberlain and LeBron James. If he gets 5, he's with Michael Jordan and Bill Russell. I mean, like, this is the kind of air the rarefied air we're talking about, and I guess we're watching greatness in real time, but it's just hard for me to adjust to the fact that Jokic is going to have more MVPs than Magic Johnson. I don't know. It's wild.
It is.
And
wild.
I stand corrected. SGA is now the odds-on favorite to win.
Okay.
Minus 4,000.
Jeebus.
Yeah, so he's gonna. Yeah, Nikola is now plus 1,200. So.
Okay, so the NBA is going with SGA.
Well,
But what
yeah,
are we going with?
I mean, voters are, right?
Voters are, sure.
The betting public.
Yeah.
And it's not close.
Okay.
So, SGA, congrats.
All right, next category, Coach of the Year. Mike Malone, numbers changing wildly.
I really want him to win Coach of the Year so bad.
That'd be
now.
hilarious.
That'd be great.
We've seen coaches of the year get fired.
Oh, yeah,
but that
way
was
too
after
often.
they won Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
It was they win Coach of the Year and then they get fired.
Monty
Not-
Williams, right, that one year?
Yeah, I think it's happened more than once.
Yeah, I feel like
But
Nate, the other Nate McMillan, didn't that happen to him?
Yes, it did.
and who was the coach in Denver some years ago? I think it happened to him too.
George Karl.
I think George Karl happened to
Yep.
him. Yeah.
Yep.
I guess Karl coached like everybody, but
Yeah.
that was the one.
Might as well get
Good call.
put on EA cover.
It's in the game.
So, Harper, I'll move over to you first on this one. Coach of the Year. Who do you like out there?
I like a repeat, man. I do not understand who you're going to if you're not going with Mark Dino again. 68 wins? I mean, look, the Cavs are super good, but they don't have 68 wins. I'm going with a repeat. That guy is in the zone.
Wow.
Counterpoint, Colson?
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. I like some other coaches. I like the Cavs coach, whatever his name is. I like J. I think
strong case for Kenny Atkinson there.
JJ Redick has done a nice job with the Lakers.
What?
Yeah.
Has
They
he?
got 50, they got 50 wins in the
Dude,
third seed.
JB Bickerstaff has a better argument.
Also, the Lakers are not under Redick's control.
Yeah.
So you want to give it to LeBron, is what you're saying?
I mean, I guess if you use
they had
Redick
a
as
mega
a placeholder.
blockbuster trade midseason. They wanted to win 50 games. They wanted to get home court.
Well, he didn't have
advantage.
anything to do with that.
Huh?
I don't think Redick had.
He has to manage all that shit.
Well, he's got to manage the people afterwards, but I'm saying he didn't.
And by the way, Luka did not seem very happy for a lot of weeks. So, but you could make an argument that he managed to eventually bring him into the fold. Maybe that's good on JJ Redick. I don't know, but it took some time to get him excited about his role in LA.
Okay. All right.
So you're just telling me that a team with LeBron James got handed handed Luka, and the coach is the one that made that work.
No, I did say that. I just said I thought he did a nice job.
All right,
That's a different thing.
JT.
I think I'm gonna go with JB Bickerstaff.
Okay.
To remind you and the listeners, the Pistons won 14 games last year. 14. They more than tripled their win total this year, going 44 and 38. Yeah, that's wild. I mean, yeah, they had some talent come back, or infused with some veterans, but to turn that team around, and basically it's an attitude adjustment for that team. Basically, they think they can win now, and that's a hell of a coaching job. I mean, Kenny Atkinson also deserves a nod, as does Mark Dagnall. I mean,
Yep.
yeah. Taylor Jenkins was in the running until he got fired, but apparently winning 48 games is not good enough or whatever.
Well, to put that in perspective, if the Pacers tripled the number of wins they had, they'd be at 150 wins next year.
That's right.
And
I like our chances.
I like our chances there. I think everybody mentioned him. Kenny Atkinson of the Cavaliers. Cavs were amazing this season. They play a brand of ethical basketball, which it's vegan and carbon neutral, I think, and that comes from the top. From Kenny Atkinson. I think they play well together as a team, greater than the sum of their parts, and I think that's got Atkinson all over it. So
I do think that being number 1 on offensive rating and number 8 in defensive rating is pretty freaking impressive. We talk about being the top 10 of those two categories gives you a chance to win a title, and it's hard to do, and that has a lot to do with coaching. So, I'm okay with the Kenny Atkinson.
My problem with the Kenny Atkinson thing is he's kind of in the middle of two things, right? So Dagnall clearly had the best year, right? His team is playing incredible.
Right.
And in as much as the Pistons wildly underachieved last year, to be able to turn it on a dime, even with the talent that he has, is incredibly good. I will go to JB Bickerstaff. But you're going to have to pull me off there, kicking and screaming.
Can I throw another
Close
name
on
out there?
yeah,
Does Joe Mazzulla get any credit for
No.
having a team shoot 48 threes a game?
Nope.
Okay.
I will. Jason, your sister and I are big Joe Mazzulla interview fans. And
Sure.
he gives the best interviews, so they're just tremendous, and I think he should get extra points for that. Colson, could you be moved to Bickerstaff?
Yeah, I could be.
All right, I could be too. Which I've been in. Let's throw the cute little Pistons a bone here.
Well, and it fits into to what we were talking about before, because he got fired last year and then became coach of the year. So,
okay,
still a high correlation with being fired and being
Okay.
coach of the year.
all right, I like it. All right, I think we can agree on this one.
Tim Hardaway Jr., the way we play is his brand of basketball and his attitude. He's done an amazing job of giving guys confidence, giving guys the ability to go out there and compete on both ends of the floor, no matter if you make a mistake here or there or multiple mistakes in a row. As long as you're competing and moving in the next play, that's all he cares about. He communicates with each one of his players, goes up to each one of them after practice, before practice. Just ask how your day is going. It goes a long way. We want to go to war for him, and I feel like that makes him coach of the year. That was from a player. Just thought Tim Hardaway Jr.
All right, defensive player of the year. I think a lot of people would have had an easy time voting for Victor Wembanyama had he not gone out with deep vein thrombosis. Probably also a lot of the same people would have voted for Damian Lillard before he went out with deep vein thrombosis. Colson, I know you were heavy into that one.
Yeah. I think the Mavs solved this problem for us by trading away Luka Doncic for defense in Anthony Davis. So clearly he's the defensive player of the year, right?
I don't think that he qualifies. Like most years, I'm guessing he doesn't qualify with the minimum. So there is they have was it 65 games, the prescribed minimum?
Do we follow that? Do we?
Well, that's for the league, yeah. And I think, Colson, you had suggested that it was 69 games, and then you chuckled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that distinctly.
That's how I feel for sure.
And you also said a minimum of 420 minutes. And then you chuckled again. So, yeah, we can do whatever we want with the minimum number of games, I guess. That would make a difference. Victor, like Wembanyama was out of control for the time that he played.
He might have got robbed last season.
Yeah, yeah. He was a rookie, so we kind of knew he wasn't going to win because he had the R next to his name in the box, but he didn't this year. The two people that I'm seeing the most discussion about for that have hit the 65 games are Evan Mobley of the Cavaliers and Draymond Green of the Warriors.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I'm happy not to vote for Draymond. So
I get it. I'm just not going to vote for it.
Yeah,
I'm just going to straight up vote for Nembhard. I'm perfectly happy being a full out homer on this one. There's not a walk away guy. Rudy Gobert didn't win it this year for once.
Yeah.
Wemby is injured for a year. This is the last time anybody gets to win it. As long as if Wemby comes back and is healthy, it's a wrap forever.
Forever.
Nembhard. It's my guy. He changed the fortunes of this team when he came back.
Oh yeah,
It's a valid point.
We were dead in the water, and I do really hope that he makes an all defense team, even though the league doesn't pay much attention to us for those types of things. Yeah, I love that. I'll go with that for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I think a couple other wing defenders that deserve mention are Lou Dortz, from OKC.
Lou Dort,
I mean, OKC has the most ferocious defense in the league, so
want to
somebody
talk
from
about
them should be in consideration.
Yeah, and they don't have like Chet Holmgren on a regular basis yet. Like, I hate that team.
And who's the other guy? Oh, Dyson Daniels. I just like watching him play defense. Like he's pretty. He's pretty fantastic.
Well, you might hear his
Great
name a little
Barrier
bit
Thief.
later. Yeah.
But yeah, let's give it to Nembhard. It's our award.
I mean, it's weird that we're, it doesn't seem like Giannis is really in the mix. It doesn't seem like Tatum is in the mix. Like, I don't know. It does seem like it's a little bit up in the air. The odds-on voting for the league seems to be trending between Draymond and Mobley. But yeah, I just with what Nembhard put on his resume, he should really have some hype for this. Like, he was incredibly good this season.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. And you make a very good point about when he came back, the Pacers went from a middling team at best to, we're home court advantage now. And that's with a slow start to the season.
Fourth best record in the league in the
Yeah.
past 50 games or whatever.
Right. All right. Rookie of the year, a.k.a. the Furphy.
All right, we're done
Jason,
here. Nice work.
We're done here.
Furphy.
Jason, where are you at on the young players?
I mean, this was tough. There's not a lot of standout rookies out there. Stephen Castle for the Spurs, I think, has been the most consistent, certainly the highest scoring rookie, I think. If you take out, what's the guy from Philly? Where does his name go? Jared McCain. Castle, 14.6 points a game. And made an impact in the games, Not that the Spurs were particularly good, but they were competitive until Wembanyama went out, in games. And he was a part of that, so... Yeah. What are his numbers? 17.8, 4.8, and 1 assists per game since the All-Star break. Not bad. We'll go with that.
I'm with you on this. I think Castle, overall, this class of rookies is, they're not as impressive as some previous ones, but he was good, and got to perform. And I'm happy with him winning that one. Harper, what about you?
I mean, Wemby is a tough act to follow last year, obviously. It does look like the Spurs are going to rack up 2 in a row. I mean, it sucks that Wemby went out, but it sure did make some room for them to get 2 Rookies of the Year in a row, and that certainly does bode well for, a really good franchise, and one that we even like on this show. So good for them. Yeah, I think he's probably the guy. The other guys that I'll mention, Alex Sarr in Washington.
Right.
Sure.
Guy had a year, man. That guy's going to be an NBA player for sure. And Zachary Risachet in Atlanta, also a very good player. Maybe I like Alex Sarr a little bit more out of those two. But those guys are both going to be really, really good NBA players. If Stephon Castle continues to grow, though, that guy could be a real force.
Yeah, I was going to mention Risachet and Sarr just because I remember them beating up on us, having good games against us, more than I remember Castle having one. But his numbers are great. He leads all rookies in points, field goals attempted and made, free throws attempted and made, steals. Second in minutes, fourth in assists. I mean, that's great. Let's give it to him.
Yeah, for sure.
His advice.
So Stephen Castle gets the Furphy.
Yeah, I guess that's how that turned out.
So the most improved player, I'll go first on this one, and I'll go Homer on this one. I'm going to go for Benedict Mathurin. He's been fantastic this year. And I think he is taking a good leap. I know last year was not his year, but this year I think he came in and did pretty much exactly what we needed him to do, and I think he's been great. What about you?
Oh, Joe, I was just going to say, I feel like his decision making has matured so much in this last year. I mean, he's knowing when to pass, when to be aggressive, when to kind of take the game into his own hands, or when to kind of let it come to him. I've been very impressed with his decision making, which is, in year 3, it's pretty great.
Jason, what do you got?
I think it's got to be Cade Cunningham. He went from a dude that Colson thought was not even an NBA player to probably all NBA team. So yeah, I'll go with him. He's a beast, and it fits with the trend of like this award going to dudes that go from good to great, as opposed to putting themselves on the map out of nowhere.
It seems like the sort of consensus in the ether is Dyson Daniels out of Atlanta. He went from rookie year at 19 years old, was 2 years ago. He's now 21 years old. He's averaging from 6 points, 14 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 3 steals a game. The guy's an absolute menace defensively and a really, really, really good basketball player. But that said, I just don't understand how this doesn't go to Cade Cunningham under the circumstances, right? Just like that team is incredibly good on the back of what he has done this season. I agree with you. It's got to go to Cade.
Yeah, he went from 22 points a game to 26, 7.5 assists to 9. His rebounds went up to 4.3 rebounds to 6. His shooting improved from 49% to 51.5%. 3-point shooting was basically the same, I guess, but took one more a game. And yeah, like you said, tripled his team's wins.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, and his defensive win share went from 1 to 2.9. His win share went from 1.8 to 5.9. I mean,
Jeebus.
The guy's the best player on that team, and he changed the fortunes of a franchise. How do you not give it to that guy? Yeah, sure, Dyson Daniels is great, but it's Cade.
I think it's a nice story.
100%.
From Dyson Daniels.
100%.
He comes out of the G League, right, and he's suddenly looking like a bust, and he moves from New Orleans to Atlanta, and they give him a chance, and he blossoms. It's a great story. But yeah, it's Cade Cunningham's award.
Shout out Detroit. Oh, sorry.
I don't disagree with that stuff. I just don't want to. Yeah, I just don't want to give stuff to Detroit.
Totally fair. Totally fair. I'm good with a split on this.
No, I'm all right with that. All right, 6th man of the year.
This is definitely T.J. McConnell, and I think he should win the actual award. I don't know why his name's not in the ether. This man has been incredible for us. He swings games. He gets a McConnell every game by stealing an inbounds pass.
Although he did get McConnell last week by somebody else.
No good. It's no good. It's tough to get, McConnell.
Did you guys see? Quick aside. Did you see when Giannis blocked Beasley's shot to finish the game?
Yes.
And gave him his own shake in his face, and then was chuckling. And then when Beasley didn't acknowledge it, he did it again, and then again. And it was kind of like a dad thing where it's like, oh, this is funny, right?
Hilarious, guys.
Oh, you didn't laugh? Oh, I'll do it again because
You
it
obviously
was
didn't
funny.
see me. It's clear.
Try it again.
He blocked a shot with a couple seconds left to finish the game, and then was going after. I thought it was funny.
Hey, from a different person, you'd think it was me. And from Giannis,
Yeah.
Although that guy did try and rush our locker room once upon a time, so
Yeah. He's real wound up.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, Colson, you were saying?
It's McConnell.
McConnell.
Jason, what do you got?
I mean, McConnell's a good candidate. He's had a PER of 18.5 this year.
Jeez.
9 points, 4.5 assists, 2.5 rebounds. Horrid 3-point shooting, but really good 2-point shooting. I think a guy we probably haven't talked about at all on the show is Ty Jerome for the Cavs, who is their clear six-man, comes off the bench, does a ton of things for them. PR of 21 this year. 12.5 points, 3.5 assists, 2.5 rebounds off the bench. A steal a game. Shooting 44% from three-point range and 52% from the floor. They had 64 wins or something like that. So, but TJ.
Obviously, TJ. So there's a few guys that are out there in the ether, one of which is Russell Westbrook, who may have had a hand in just getting his coach fired.
Right.
He's like number 3 on the odds right now. I would find it hard to believe that anyone would give him an award for six-man under those sort of circumstances. But whatever. The guy's a stat beast, so right. I understand why his name is out there. Ty Jerome for sure. Another Cav, DeAndre Hunter, an incredible season. That team is just stacked. You also won't be surprised to learn that the Pistons have a six-man in Malik Beasley, who had an incredibly good year. Malik Beasley all of a sudden is scoring 16 points a game. Real weird. The best statistical six-man in the league this year, who probably should be in the running for MIP2, is Peyton Pritchard. 14 points a game, 2.5 boards, 4 boards, 3.5 assists, a steal a game. Just plays really hard and is on a really good team, obviously. That said, he is TJ McConnell light. Suck it, Boston.
Ooh. You had me in the first half. I'll go with McConnell. He's the engine that makes this team go. I think many years we have, kind of pre TJ McConnell, our bench was a vulnerability for us, like a big one, and we had stats that as soon as a player from the starting lineup stepped off the floor, we immediately plummeted, and now we've got our bench winning games for us, like legitimately winning games. Have sometimes started comebacks and other times just straight up won the game. So I can go with that.
Also, just a quick update. This season, TJ McConnell has jumped onto the top 25 Pacers of all time for the Colson list.
Oh, wow.
How many players are on that list?
Yeah, I was going to say the actual 25 or like...
No, he's on the actual...
28.
He's on the actual 25.
Okay.
He's currently at 16.
Oh, wow.
Did he knock off, like, Vern Fleming? Who did he knock off?
Who did he knock off? We'll have to check it. Haywood Workman.
Oh.
But he's number 1 on your top 25 referee list.
That's right. That's exactly right. So we still feel it right
nice.
about that. But no, I just was thinking about it. Just so many games where I love it when he goes out there. I just love his hustle. He's been on this team as our backup point guard for so long now.
And he talks so much shit. It's hilarious.
I love his facial expressions when he's just, oh man, he's always just giving people so much shit. Yeah, it's great. And he really gets down on himself, but he seems to pat everybody else on the butt. I just think he's great.
He got like a hair ruffle from somebody we were playing last week. I can't remember. I was like, did you just get a hair ruffle? What is that?
Little bro.
Yeah. Oh.
He has a good way to talk to the referees and not get technicals, so that's a bonus. Because some of our players lack that skill. Just saying. All right. You know what, guys? The NBA does the clutch award. I don't love it, but I did have one more category for you guys, and it's the crutch player of the year.
Oh,
And that's the most disappointing injury of the season.
Ooh.
I'll throw this out there first because I've had a little more time with this category. For me, Victor Wembanyama is the one, and he had his deep vein thrombosis shortly after the All-Star break, and didn't he's not going to qualify for any of the league awards. And I mean, he's been so fun to watch. He is, like I say, if he's healthy, he's probably Defensive Player of the Year. He's probably most things of the year.
Comeback Player of the Year.
Comeback, sure.
Well,
guy
he's got
of
that
the year.
not locked up
Most
next
French.
year.
What about you guys? Anybody else that you were really bummed to see injured?
Isaiah Jackson.
Yeah.
I hated losing him all year.
I was really
thought
sad
he had
about that. That's my dude.
Yeah, I thought he had a great playoffs last year. He was just really coming into his own. I think, Carlisle has talked so much about what a versatile defender he is and what a hard worker. And I was just looking forward to this season, and have him to lose the whole season was just really a bummer.
And he's like super jumpy. That's his thing, right?
Yeah, he's super jumpy.
And he tore his ACL, right?
Yeah.
No, his Achilles,
It was Achilles.
which is even worse.
Is that that's
Right.
that's the jumpy one, right?
Yep.
That's the jumpy one. Maybe he'll come back jumpier?
I mean,
Because it just like you just tighten it up, I think, right?
Sure.
Just-
Make
yeah.
it more like a
two
sprint.
more turns to the right and you're good.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he does.
Yeah, I didn't know what the nature of this award would be. So, crutches are involved, so I had Kawhi Leonard in mind. But Ja Morant also in that vein. You have no idea if he's going to play from one night to the next.
I mean, I think the bummeriest injury easily goes to Dallas and Anthony Davis. I mean, that's just, yeah.
You trade your franchise for a guy
You
and hope he's
explode
healthy.
your franchise for a guy who immediately just has a terrible...
Game one, right?
I mean-
Didn't he go down in like the first quarter of game?
I mean, come on. You couldn't have writ it any worse than that. Like, just embarrassing stuff. For me,
Yeah, the other one that was kind of a bummer was Jalen Brunson rolling his ankle and missing a bunch of games, and now he's ineligible for award. So he was going to be probably first team All NBA.
Yeah.
And it's
and
not
deservedly
gonna
so.
get that.
I mean, the guy's
yeah,
a beast.
totally.
On some level, that poor bastard probably deserved a break because he plays for Thibodeau. So,
Sure.
that team's extra dangerous.
Are you
the
suggesting
only
he
way you
rolled
can
his
get
ankle on purpose? Is that what you're suggesting?
He was intentionally landed on the guy's foot.
You paid him 10 grand.
I'm
He was
tired.
like, yeah.
I'm tired, boss.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, do one of those Zaza Pachulias on me.
Yeah. And
I need a vacation.
for all of you lame ass Blazer fans out there, you know who you are. I would have said Damian Lillard, but apparently he's going to be back in the playoffs at some point.
Oh,
He's going to have a checkup soon. We will see if he even plays in the first round. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to get to play if he doesn't play in the first round.
Is that how it works?
what?
That's the rules?
No, meaning we're going to beat their team.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Right, gotcha. Yeah. Now I'm trying.
Come on, guys.
Sorry,
So
I
many
was like,
levels. So many levels to the joke you're making.
Rule I don't know about rosters. Colson's always got the deep cut. You got to be careful.
That's right. It's the rule when you're playing the Pacers in the first round rule.
okay. We have finished the 2024-2025 Undebeat Awards. I'm going to give you a very quick stat of the week, and then we'll do the matchups.
Joey, stat of the week.
Stat of the week this week is the dwarf planet, Sedna, which is outside all of the planets. It does orbit the sun, but is so far away that its year the time it takes to fully orbit the sun is 11,400 years.
Wow.
Or is it just 1 year?
Yeah.
It's deep, man.
Yeah, why are you being weird about
Yeah.
stuff, Joey?
Yeah.
So I have a question, Joe. Are we gonna? Do we have to start calling this the ninth planet?
No, it's too small. It's smaller. I believe it's smaller than Pluto. But it's just the planet designation is the size thing and a shape thing, I think, too. But it is not going to qualify.
About 1,000 miles in diameter.
Maybe.
That doesn't seem that big.
Colson, if you want to know what it is, it's a trans-Neptunian object. So, I mean, I think you should refer to it as a trans-Neptunian object.
Okay.
That's how it wants to be referred to. So,
We're not allowed to do that anymore, though, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Is that
That's
too
my
DEI
bad.
of us?
That's my bad.
but so it's
Poor NSF people getting grants canceled because they're studying trans-Neptunian objects. Ridiculous.
That's so true.
the farthest. It has like a really elliptical orbit, and so the farthest it gets away is 937 astronomical units. With one AU is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, but so it at some point has 937 of those at its furthest apart away from the Sun.
What?
But yeah, highly elliptical orbit. Its orbit takes it into the Kuiper belt.
Yeah, it goes way, way, way out, but it still keeps the orbit around the Sun.
That's wild.
Why did astrophysicists have to come up with another unit of measure for us to not be able to relate to? Oh, it's not a light year. It's an astronomical unit. It's the distance between the sun and the Earth, you see.
Because the scales get crazy really fast, like, what? Because it's like I think 7 minutes for the light to get from the sun to the Earth.
Sure.
And so you could say, you don't want to measure things in 7 light minutes.
I kind of
One
do,
astronomical.
actually.
Well, it depends on what the scale is, So, anyway, that's one.
But the
one
problem
AU
is I
from
can't
the Earth
compare
to
it
the
to
sun.
anything because,
I mean, it's bigger than the mind.
I mean, bigger than my
Normally
mind,
deals with
certainly. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, speak for yourself, Joe.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we spent a long time. We're not going to spend so long on the playoff matchups, but I do want to talk about these. So let's start in the West. The number 1 Oklahoma City Thunder are going to play the Kings or the Mavericks or
The Grizzlies. Or
the Grizzlies
the Warriors.
or the Warriors. What the heck? One of those.
Yeah, one of the 4 playing
One of those.
teams.
One of those 4,
Yeah.
depending on how those.
Well,
No, yeah. All 4 teams have a chance to
Yeah,
make
you're
the
right.
8th seed.
Yeah.
Only
Okay.
2 have a chance to make the 7th seed.
Okay. So OKC versus any of those 4 teams. Golson, where are you at on the 1-8 matchup?
As I've predicted, I don't think Memphis is getting out of the play-in, and I think they would be swept. But I think the rest of the teams have a chance to win 1 game. So I'm gonna go Thunder in 5 against any comer.
I think it'd be a
Jason, what
real
about you?
slap in the face if the Warriors ended up in the 8th seed to the OKC Thunder. I think they would still win, but I think the Warriors would give them a run for their money. I'd take them 6. Other than that, it's a sweep.
Sweep. Okay.
yeah, I was seeing it the same way. I'll take OKC 4.
I don't see much of a difference. Yeah, I guess you're right. Except for the Warriors, I don't see much difference with these teams. I'd give the Warriors 2. I'll go out on a limb here and say
If the Warriors show
Anybody
up,
else?
yeah, I'm off for it. But seems unlikely.
Yep. Okay, the 2-7 matchup, Rockets v one of these, I guess the 7-8. It would only be the 7-8.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So they would be playing either the Warriors or the Grizz. Harper, where are you at on these matchups?
I'll take the Warriors in 6.
Over the Rockets? Okay. I like it. Jason, what about you?
That's a good question. I think they would beat the Grizzlies if they somehow got to play the
For sure.
Grizzlies, like in 6 probably or something. If they
5.
play the Dubs, I think that goes 7, and I think they lose in the 7th game.
You guys think there's a pretty big gap between the Rockets and the Thunder, it seems like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
there's a big
one
gap
of
between
the-
the Warriors and the Rockets. I think there's a big gap between the Warriors and the Thunder.
Yeah. I think Houston's had a really nice season. They don't have the chops yet, and I do think the Warriors would beat them in a 7-game series in 7 with the experience. I'm jumping on your bandwagon there. Jason.
Come on, plenty of room.
I'll take the Rockets,
Nice.
but I'd
That's
say
fair.
they'd have to do it in 7. They're not going to do it quickly for either team. I don't think it's going to make a difference. All right, is everybody right?
Yep.
Moving on to the 3-6 matchup, which are two teams that we do know. It will be the Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I like Minnesota. I like Anthony Edwards. This Lakers team is, too good. LeBron's not going to let him lose in the first round. He doesn't do that. So, I guess the Lakers in 6.
Okay, Jason. I guess I thought that the Minnesota's been playing pretty good ball much of this season. Do you think they're going to be able to win?
Well, it's interesting. I think they, of any team, might have the horses to defend the three-headed monster of Doncic, LeBron, and Reeves, who are matchup nightmares because they have Jade McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, and a couple other horses off the bench that they could throw at them. Nas Reed can do some damage. They have rim protection. But Doncic and LeBron James are just too smart. Like, they're going to play Gobert off the floor. They have a home court advantage, and the Lakers, it's like, don't they have some ridiculous free throw advantage over the rest of the league? Like,
Yeah, and over the rest of the league and the history of the league.
right, yeah. So I'm going to take the Lakers in 5. I think they run roughshod over this Minnesota team.
Okay, quick work.
What about you, Harper?
Well, so you say that, LeBron can't lose in the first round. Well, last year they went ahead and lost in the first round. No? Mm-hmm. Year before that, they did make the conference finals. The year that, they didn't make the playoffs at all. Before that, they lost in the first round. I don't know. This is a guy who actually can lose in the first round. I don't know. It's difficult to call this one because that team has not had a lot of time to get together. Luka is clearly a friggin' weirdo, or he would not be anywhere but Dallas. What I do know is that Minnesota has a really good team. Anthony Edwards is an absolute beast of a player. Julius Randle is better than people think if he doesn't have to be the best player on your team. So I'm going to take Minnesota, and boy, I don't like them in 7, so I guess I have to go 6.
I would have had them. I think pre-trade, I maybe would have had Minnesota, but I think after this trade, Jason, like you said, it's a three-headed monster, and I really want to see Luka and LeBron especially cook in these playoffs. So I think that you just have one of those guys on the floor all the time, and what are you going to do about that?
Run right by them?
I think the Lakers
In
are
the
going
case
to
of
take it.
Luka? Sorry.
Well. So I say the Lakers in 5. I think it'll be
Lakers in 5.
relatively quick.
I'm rethinking my. I still think the Lakers are going to win, but I think it'll take them 7 games.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
I can't disrespect Anthony Edwards like that. The dude is a
Yeah.
beast.
All right, last matchup of the West, the 4-5 matchup. The number 4 Denver Nuggets versus the Clippers in a crosshairs at number 5. Do the Nuggets have the Clippers in the middle of their sights, Jason?
Who is the Nuggets
gonna
coach?
say-
What are they doing over there?
It's their
Who's
assistant
their
coach.
assistant?
Yeah. It's their assistant coach, some guy you've never heard of. Yeah, who's the Clippers coach? Is Tyronn Lue over there? What do you got?
Yeah, Tyronn
yeah.
Lue for sure. I'm gonna take the Nuggets in this. I think Kawhi has a phantom injury, as he always does at some point in the playoffs, and scratches himself 10 minutes before Game 5, and
A pivotal
they're on for a
2-2.
loop. And so I'll take the Nuggets, but it'll take them 7 to do it.
Nuggets 7.
Yeah, this is just a will Kawhi play series. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Nuggets have a lot to play for here. I assume that the players were pissed about Malone for whatever reason that I don't understand. But if their GM wants to stick around, they better win a series. I'll take Denver in 6.
I mean, God, I don't trust
broke
the
Coulson.
team with Kawhi or with the beard. I am real concerned.
The other
that
side
the
has
Nuggets-
Westbrook.
Fair point.
Excellent point. I'm real concerned that the Nuggets are, flying without their captain, that they don't have. They're just going to be running the same sets because the new coach doesn't have time to put stuff in. It all just seems real creepy, and I feel like that's a terrible distraction going into the playoffs. But Jokic is the best player on the planet.
Just quietly
and
throw up
so-
41-point triple-dub.
Exactly. So I think they're going to win this. I think it's going to be harder than it should be. I'll take them in 6 close games.
So you got 6, Jason 7. What did you have on
I had
Hopper?
6.
6?
I had 6. Colson had 6 close games.
Put an asterisk on there. I guess I think it's gonna be. I think it'll be Nugs in 5.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm just
Nobody
not-
believes
I'm-
in the. I feel like the Clippers are good.
Is Kawhi going to play?
Yes, he'll play.
For how many games? 1?
At least 3 of them.
I mean, he's load managing through the playoffs too, so it doesn't matter.
Right. He's playing every other game.
Right.
Yeah. He can guard a lot of guys. Can he guard Jokic?
No.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
the inevitable James Harden crawling on the floor trying to salvage his season.
And maybe pooping his pants. Don't wear the whites.
Perhaps.
Don't wear the whites, James.
Oh yeah, that was gross. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to the East. And number 1, Cleveland Cavaliers will be playing the Bulls, the Heat, the Hawks, or the Magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
They play any of them?
Correct.
Okay. So I will go first and say the Cleveland Cavaliers would sweep all of them, I think. Cavs aren't going to fool around. They're a quality squad. They have good playoff experience across the organization, and They're hungry. They know what to expect. Not that other teams don't know. Well, some of them don't know what to expect, but some of them do. But it doesn't matter that there's a talent gap between these organizations. So I'll say Cavs sweep them out. Jason, what about you?
Is there a number lower than, like, can they do it faster than a sweep?
3.5.
3.5. I'll take
3.5's the
the
lowest
Cavs
we've
at
seen
3.5
so far.
against all of those teams.
Okay.
Okay.
I think there's some world in which Orlando could actually cause some problems. That team is so stalwart defensively that I'll go ahead and, in the aggregate of all universes, I'll take Cleveland at 5.
Of all universes?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's a lot. Wow. Okay.
That's the average.
I
Wow.
was gonna take Cleveland in 5, but I'm since I keep jumping on your number here, I'm gonna go Cleveland in 6. I think there's a world in which Chicago could get hot from the 3-point arc.
Gotcha. Chicago in 6. Got you down.
Cavs in 6.
I suppose in a universe in which there are infinite universes, there's probably a world where Chicago could.
Still not. Infinite universes.
Not this year.
Still not.
I'm taking 6.
I got you down for a 5, buddy.
Okay.
2-7 matchup will be the Boston Celtics v. either the Magic or the Hawks. Similarly, they will be
Boston 4. Sorry.
summarily dispatched in 3.49 games.
There you go. I've just got everybody
Well,
down
I'll
for
say
Boston 4
Boston
here.
in 3.25.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll say 4 games, but they won't be. None of them.
No
will be.
close. Interesting. Hot take.
I'm gonna say Boston in 5.
What?
Yeah, I think if it's the Magic, they could win one.
All right. I heard Magic in 6.
The 3-6 matchup. These are things I think in the Eastern Conference start to get a little more interesting. We have the Knickerbockers versus the Detroit Pistons. Harper, what do you think about this? Get the young up-and-comers in the Pistons. They've won a lot of Undebeatables awards, so they'll be, they'll get the bump from that, right? There's the Undebeatables bump.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
And luckily, Jalen Brunson got to listen to this episode from his couch because he's on rest, which is not normal for New York Knicks teams. Yeah, they're going to murder this round. I should be taking them in 4, but I'll leave that to one of you guys. I will graciously give Detroit a growth game and take New York in 5. I would love... It's great for Detroit to get the seasoning, but they ain't ready for what they're about to hit.
Colson?
I agree with that. I think it's been a wonderful story. The Pistons is great. So much of the playoffs is about seasoning. They're just going to get smacked in the eye. But I do think
It's such a small target.
New York is very precise.
yeah. You went with 5?
I took 5.
I'll say the sweep.
All right. JT?
I like this feisty Pistons team. I think they get Cat thrown out of at least one game. And
Cat, not Hart? That's a weird pick to me.
no, Hart's too. Yeah, he knows how to go just across the line. And Cat will just lose his mind one game with the way Isaiah Stewart is like playing him.
I like it.
I like. I mean, the Knicks are clearly the better team here, but I'll give the Pistons 2 wins. I think it's.
I hope you're
Knicks
right.
in 6.
Hope you're right.
That would be fun.
I think it's going to be a battle. I mean, they're going to come out and just maul people.
Detroit has been just this side of dirty this season.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, you know what? I'll go out and I'll give him 3 games. So I'll give the Pistons 3 games.
Game 7 in the Garden.
Game 7 in the Garden.
That would be great seasoning for this young team. I hope that's the case.
I hope they get swept because I hate Detroit.
Yeah, good call. I take it back. You're right.
I will say I've been underestimating them all year. They've been solid. They've been very good. When they would come out talking strange smack to us, I was like, what are you,
Mad Yang?
What are you even talking about? Why are you even talking? But I still don't really know the answer to that question. But I guess the point was that they've, I think, been overperforming, and they're going to be tough to deal with. They're feisty. I think they maybe don't. They're cocky and they don't know enough to be scared. So
could go either way, right?
Jason, there's going to be some. It's going to be a wild one to watch. There's going to be some disagreements.
But this series will lead all first round series in technical fouls and ejections.
Yeah,
for sure.
Am I looking at this correctly? That the Pistons swept the Knicks this season? Is that correct?
Probably.
Sure.
Yeah, looks like it. So there's that.
Yeah, well, we'll see how they do in the first two in the Garden, and we'll take it from there. Hartenstein's going to have some stuff. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Last matchup, saving the best for last. Number 4, Indiana Pacers have home court advantage against the number 5 Milwaukee Buckaroos. Is anybody not picking the Pacers?
I think we're
Bucks are
I think
good.
we're already on record with this.
I'm not sure I want to sweep anymore. I'm getting nervous now that you guys are nervous.
Yeah, no, sorry. I've got you down for 4 plus axe, which means...
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
We're firing Doc.
We're firing
That's
Doc.
fine. That's fine.
I didn't know if opinions have changed since we last spoke about this.
It's been so long. Many things have come out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stick with my 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm staying 7.
We're deeper. We're in better shape. They have the best player, but we have the best team. Let's make it happen.
All right. Bucks in 5, you said. Harper, you got that down, right?
Yep, it's on wax.
Nice. All right. Excellent. All right. Well, that is the 2025 playoff preview. We will see how close we are pretty soon. Harper's tracking these, so you can hold our feet to the fire if we do poorly. And I feel like you do it mostly so you can remind us when you do well.
Oh, yeah, it never comes up unless I win.
Yeah, exactly. We never hear how we do.
That's correct.
Unless Harper's with.
He does track them. All right, guys. You guys, it's playoff time again.
Let's do this.
I feel like it's a good group of players. Good, it's a good bunch of teams out there, of course. Some obviously much better than others, but I'm really excited to see OKC, a fully powered OKC team, go at this. I'm excited for the Nuggets again. I feel like that's like interesting to me. Of course, the Pacers, and I want to see if the Lakers are real.
Well, by the next time we talk, we'll have seen at least one game in all of these playoff series, which is very exciting.
Yep. All right.
And we can overreact to those things.
Yeah. We overreact.
Well, no, bitches.
In due time.
That's right. I know Eric is excited that, for the next month that all date nights will just be watching Pacer games.
Who wouldn't be?
Well, you can find us on Twitter. We are at Undebeatables. We're on Facebook.com/TheUndebeatables. Our website is TheUndebeatables.com. There is also a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. Email, shout out at theundebeatables.com, and our website / store for merch.
For the architect, Donnie Walsh, and our once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Sick Leonard. Turn out the lights, the party is just beginning. Playoffs, bitches!
Classic.